one of the biggest issues we have is that dancers don't get along with dancers, first of all. Choreographers, some choreographers have problems with the other choreographers. You see, already with that being said, you've already found our weakness in what we do.
You need to be able to place yourself as a brand on social media platforms. So what it is for me, I look at Instagram. My Instagram is my digital CV. Your phone this is your CV. It's your weapon, it's your power. You take this thing, place it nicely, be clean, shy choreo yako, dance proper, and then you post those things. That's your digital profile.
I'll speak on behalf of Sowetos Finest. We don't do anything, and I mean literally anything that involves kids without their parents knowing.
I just want to start with you, Sne, just to say, I'm sure that you get a lot of questions about the challenges and all those things. I just want to ask, getting to this phase, right, is something that was an easy road for you, or was it a difficult road for you, in a short answer?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know whether it was difficult or if it was, because I was more focused on the actual talent itself.
Okay.
And the challenges were things that I could overcome every single time because I believed in myself so much. And when you have a goal and you want to pursue something, if you're serious about it, the challenges won't make you give up. Because we are ifuna lento le at the end of the day. So I can't say, Uguti, was it too difficult or was it easy? It wasn't easy, of course. Challenges are always going to be there, but it's not something that ever discouraged me.
For sure.
You know, I'm a big fighter. I'm a lion for dance.
I feel that. And for you, Tom, the road for you, how was the road for you leading up to this point?
Hey, for me it was tough, eh?
Yeah?
For me it was very tough because when I started Sowetos Finest, in 2006 I lost my mom. And when I was getting over losing my mom in 2007, I lost my dad. So I'm basically growing this company we call Sowetos Finest with literally nothing, no support, no financial support whatsoever. I remember from 2006, 7, 8, 9, it was purely pro bono work. The first paycheck I got was when I did the closing ceremony of the World Cup with Somizi Mhlongo. That was my first check.
That was your first check?
First check.
After how long?
That's what, 2006, 7, 8, 9.
After 4 years?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Crazy, right?
Pro bono.
Basically.
Yo, man, that is incredible. And you know, a lot of the times, as dancers also, we don't know how to, or when is the right time to price ourselves, right? Because you also have to worry about this. They can book another person if you are a certain amount, right? So when it came to, can I ask you, Tom, leading up to that, what was the motivating, or what hurdles did you have when you are not being paid but you're still doing this thing?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean,
yeah,
those early days,
yeah,
bro.
He's OG. He's OG. It's not solo.
It was really tough. I remember at that time we were probably getting paid for like 500 rand, and you'd probably perform like for 30, 45 minutes with an artist on stage, and you'd get 500 rand. And for back then it was a big deal because
what?
You know,
Got something. 500 rand.
So it's basically exposure.
Yeah.
Basically, when I'm also choreographer, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I understand.
Jeez.
What? Choreographer?
Yeah. And for you, Sne, like how long did it take before your first check came in? Was it a big one?
I think mine was slightly longer than Tom. Because I worked at a studio. So and I was torn between Uguting, like Konita studio. I had joined dance studio, and kuleyo dance studio bangenzi dance teach, because I had street style. So I ended up teaching, but for free. We do, I'm a gig to guys, I'm a gig to we Pick and Pay Sunflower Foundation. And we're performing at schools. So obviously, you're not getting paid. Uyofuza. Uyofuza. They're having a marathon, even the Comrades Marathon. So yeah, guys, you're going to be performing for East Coast Radio, come through. So Jabulan. My mom is coughing out probably dance, there was like dance shoes like dala. And abelungu bas serious, but if you uma kambe ukuthengela lokho ukuthengela lokho ukuthengela lokho manje uma asiphume ema-suburbs phume elokishini athi ngiyithengeleni lento le wena manje icathulo mhlambe ziwu-450 and then uniform mhlambe izobe omunye mhlambe u-500 or something, and back then spending 1,500 on a child that is not getting paid for this job was a lot for parents
100%.
back then. So for me, it took me a very long time. I think I only got paid, Zinto. When I actually started working for Zinto, that was my first paycheck. I had already opened for Kanye at that point, but I opened for free. The Kanye West concert.
Kanye West.
Yep, I did it for free. But for me, the benefit was we had pitched to someone.
Yeah.
I went to Miss Cosmo and I was like, please, can you give us an opportunity to be on stage for exposure? So for me, coming from Durban, I had met Miss Cosmo in Durban, so I want to start working in Joburg. I want to engage with dancers in Joburg. So I went there, I performed for free. It wasn't an issue. It's like what he's saying, pro bono, but you're paying your dues to the industry, you're paying your time. I never saw it as a thing of a challenge. I was like, this is an investment. I can perform on a Kanye West concert thingy stage, and I'll put that on my CV. Already sing hlugile. I had done all these foundations, performing at the Comrades Marathon or the East Coast Radio Big Walk, Abonje. All of these platforms, I used that to go be CV. Then I started expecting money, but from the 2006s, as well. From the 2006s all the way to 2013, that's the only time I started getting paid.
After 7 years.
Yeah.
How important the exposure actually is, right? Because it is a difficult thing to stomach sometimes. And how long is that thread of exposure? I think a lot of creatives are like, no, I'm willing to do something for free and willing to do something for exposure. But what would you say in that exposure period? Was there connections that you were building? Was there money that you were saving? Is there something that you were doing throughout that exposure process that you can maybe shed some light or advice to them to say, when you're doing something for free, here is, if you're not getting money, here's what you can get in return. Is there something, Tom, or something, Sne, that you can think of?
For me, exposure, it's value. It's a value exchange. Versus the exposure, you would see, maybe, I'm not even going to try throw shade on maybe certain brands. So if it's like a certain brand that is already famous and is out there, and then they're telling you, Uti, you still need exposure, and they're gonna keep using you over and over. That's when you start hindering yourself, where you're consistently working for that one brand, doing too much of these exposure gigs, because when they're done with you, when Usuti no sengcela imali, they're gonna be like, oh, Susil, we're gonna go find someone else gay. And then that someone else is gonna be like, oh, I'll take over the platform. So if Utom works for Absa, and he's been doing this thing for exposure, and he says to Absa, we've been together for 5 years. I've been doing this thing for exposure. Can I please get paid because my pockets are running out? And then Absa says, no, thank you. We're gonna go use Sne. If I step in Nam as Sne, I've been watching with Tom this whole time work with the Absa, Yaz, with Tom and Absa are one thing. So who am I to think I'm gonna add any value there? There's no amount of exposure or value that I can gain from that, because Tom has already walked that journey for those many years. So you must research and find out, why did the other person leave that position?
Can can I ask, because that's such a good point, do you feel like sometimes within the, not even just dance, within the entertainment industry, do certain brands use the fact that they know this person is going to say to undercut?
Yeah.
And us as the people who are the talent, we know that like, you know what, I'm doing this for free, but I'm undercutting this person.
Yes.
That is a major problem.
Please do add on that because this is what we were talking about just now.
Yeah, we were literally having this conversation upstairs now. I think also one of the biggest issues we have is that dancers don't get along with dancers, first of all. Some choreographers have problems with the other choreographers. You see, already with that being said, you've already found our weakness in what we do.
Yeah.
So meaning I can go to Lelo and say, Lelo, please come perform with us for an X amount, right? And then Lelo says, I know 500 rand is too small for me. I'm like, okay, cool. Ngilanda uluntuzana. Ngiyazuzoyithatha lo.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
100%.
So already we have that big problem. We're unable to speak to each other. I mean, Sne, for instance, when we do a lot of award shows together, she would call me and says, they offered me this amount of money. Can we not do it until they learn to pay us more?
Yeah.
You understand? So at least we are able to speak to each other. But dancers can't speak to each other in most cases because nam ngiyawufuna lo msebenzi akami kancane ulelo hayi.
Yeah.
Akami kancane 500 iyangithola izongisa fair. So I think
Akamind yena.
yeah, and also we don't have like should I say dance association yana,
Yes.
a union,
Like a union.
you understand? Where we all can start teaching people that this is the amount you mustn't go under. As a choreographer per song, charge so and so.
This is the base fee.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
For sure.
The crazy part is that, FYI, guys, once upon a time we did this in Joburg. This was in 2013 when I first moved to Joburg. There's this guy named Paku. Paku called all the street dancers, said, guys, we need to have a meeting. If you were not there, they were like saying, you're going to miss out, or like, Geguzo were part of this conversation because it's really important. So everyone had the FOMO to be there, and we all took the responsibility to be in that meeting. And the first thing that we discussed, before we discussed my beef, this, by the way, this segregation thing is not happening for the first time. It happened in our era too. So Paku says, I hear that we have beef, but the first thing that we need to talk about, guys, how much are we charging our clients? Minimum. So that's okay. Abanye bathi 1.5, so that's no. Abanye bathi we said 2,000. Then everyone was like, okay, I can at least balance with the 2,000. And then from there, based on your experience, based on your reasoning, then you can charge a rate, but don't go below 2,000. So much so, we even went to a point where we said, if we find out ukuthi Banyana chose to take a job that was less than 2,000, we are not going to support them as a dance community. We sat there, we looked at each other like this. We said, we're not going to support each other. If you take less than 2,000 rands, we're not going to support you. We're going to boycott your events, your workshops. If you need support from us, we are not going to support you because you know how to go against our agreement here. And I kid you not, over the years, clients started understanding which dancers charge more than 2,000. Now, that needs to be redone in this era now.
One band, one sound.
Yeah, we do. We
One
need to
band,
have
one
that
sound.
conversation again to be like street dancers.
Do you think we'll ever get to a point where dancers and choreographers really get along, first of all?
No. Nina manga, relaxani. Nina manga, we all have egos.
Hey,
So-
it's
I'm
bad.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be kumbaya. Come on.
Eish.
Now ngumandelo ayejele wazowabuya. Azwani. Apartheid isakhona, guys. Apartheid is still a thing. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
Aswani. And that's okay because we all have our own personal journeys. The only thing is, mina for me, I'm not a jealous person. So ngamonela omunye umuntu. That's all it
Yeah.
is. But if uzomona, it's up to you. Marok Salayo, as a union, as a business, this is where DJs get it right.
Yeah.
But as a business, we are not going to change. This is how much we charge. If you want to be a cheap DJ, then we will treat you as a cheap DJ. So boycott us and they do. That's why all DJs ban mali. Yo, ban moto. Hey, okay, I can DJ broke.
It's, I think, but it also now it ties back to what you're explaining in regards to value. I think it's also very important. Actually, it's very important, guys, with Nieskolwen. I guess
Yeah.
you understand? Because firstly, how are you gonna be a well-known choreographer, well-known dancer, yet you are unable to just read and understand a simple contract?
Yeah.
So, before Scarab's school, that conversation, Jay, are you able to sit in a boardroom with a brand like Absa and negotiate accordingly? You can't. Because we always have this problem where you say, okay, you need dancers so-and-so, right? And also a choreographer. Basically, to go, this is the fee for dancers, and then this is the fee for the choreographer. Basically, they would come back to you and say, how choreographer are you not able to just play the song, basically, in Shanganisama move?
So they
You
really
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they really don't understand
It's
what goes into it.
crazy. I think people don't understand what we also go through. It's crazy. You sometimes take jobs. I'll make an example with me. Sometimes I take jobs not just for me, but for my kids. Because I also have a lot of kids in the studio who need to pay rent, who need to take care of themselves. Sometimes I'll take a gig when for me there's nothing. When they say, it's not your fee choreographer. So we only have a fee for the dancers. So that's when it also goes back to when realizing that if I do this job with Absa for the first time, I need you are building a working relationship. I'm like, okay, fine, it's cool, I'll take it. You understand? But as smart as I am, I know that I know what I want when they call me the next time. So you can't call me again the next time and say, if you choreographer, like that's when I know I can't do it. Like I'll make an example for you. I recently said no to a very huge artist. A very huge maybe uzongifonela kusasa futhi sekuhlukile. You understand? I literally, they said we need you to choreograph for so and so 2 songs and this is the fee. I said I can't do that fee. You know why? Not because I have an ego or anything, but I've paved.
Yeah.
You understand? People know me now. Like I can't be in a situation where I'm doing a gig and choreographing one song for 10K. I can't do that anymore because I've paid my dues. I've done 2006, 7, 8, 9 for free. Now I'm at a point where I don't need to go to Absa and say, can you please book me? I'm patient enough to wait for Absa to call me. Because once you approach a brand and say, can I choreograph for you? Can we perform at such a show? So you've already taken away your power of negotiating. Oof. Therefore, you can't negotiate. But okay, you understand? You understand things, sure. So we can only do a certain amount. Already, you can't say no because but if they call you and say, Tom, we need without the 25,000 rand, then it's up to them now. You understand? Because you've paved your way. But you can't now izolo bese uya ku Absa uthi mina ngifuna $1 million. Who are you?
Pay your dues, please. I did 7 years of free.
You understand the show. So also tying into what Sne said, it's like with DJs also. The well-known, the more work you've put in, you are able to sit down and just say, this is the fee I want to do, and without the fee, I can't move. That's because they've paved and done the work and they put in the work. The biggest problem with today's dancers, they don't want to put in the work.
No, they don't.
You know?
A lot.
As long as you do make TikTok, nama follow and sengrod wena so khona ukuphendula usne ngabi umuntu who has done more than you. So it's not only just about you need to understand the game first of all.
For sure.
Young Ton,
For
you
sure.
charge for dancers, you charge for the hire of the studio, you charge for choreography, you charge for the transport that needs to take you there. Guning.
Agency.
You understand? Guning.
You
So,
are an agency.
unfortunately, as dancers, we are at the bottom of the food chain, like literally lemsans. Even when you talk about awards, bazo cover wonke umuntu uqala. Isound bazolibhadala kahle, istage basibhadale kahle,
Yeah.
aba security yonke into. Wena usegcineni wena. But and dancers.
And how do we, and that's such a real thing, né? How do we change that to say the last person who gets paid is the dancer, right? To a point where there'll be dancers who will now say, you know what, maybe let me try singing, right? So I can get more money from singing and then use dancing as the passion project. How do we change that narrative?
Oh, okay, buddy, let me explain something. So
Yeah.
I remember when I used to do my interviews and they'd be like, is dance really a sustainable career? And it's, yes, oh my gosh. Dance is just, yeah, I promise you, we can just make it, we can make it a career. When you can make it a career. But with the instability of the opportunities, then we can't make it a consistent career. And I don't blame it on us. The consistency is there for us, that we will always, come on, there's a whole studio here. There's always going to be a platform for dance. But the actual stage for dance, that's what we lack, and that's where our income also comes from, right? I'll give you also theater. You can go on tour for six months, a year, 3 years, but at some point you need to take a production break. And in that production break, you are not working. Or the show ends, and you're no longer working. So what are you doing in the time being?
Yeah.
So that's why the sustainability of dance career gets affected. I am no longer mad at dancers that decide to dabble on other career paths. It's just that if you're gonna be a dance representative, stand on it higher more than anything else. Yes, you're like Tom London, yes, Tom. Petty studio, but he also has music and da-da-da-da-da. Yes, Sne Mbatha, she's a dancer, choreographer, but she also acts and she does stunts and all of that. So it becomes like your second thing, like the second option that you have, it becomes secondary to your main career, which is dance. It dance into but it does not deny you the opportunity to dabble on other things. Like, so even under dance, you can be a music editor, like a music producer or music director, you can. As a dancer, because we need to, for instance, the mix, the more you cut music and you do mix, you end up producing. You end up being a music director. And then also from Satama video, like, our dance video, you become a videographer.
Yeah.
You become a director. You become a creative director because you need to think of the creativity of the piece. You become a creative director. There's so many, what do you call them? Like so many other elements that you can get out of dance where it's not just dance. But if you make dance your main domain, then that's even better. Wabon. And I do think that, I'll make an example with a person like Black Coffee who once said, even as a DJ, you need a backup. I didn't believe that the one and only Black Coffee said yes, you also need a backup. Like, Shimza has the events thingy company that he has. So he does his own events. And then he spoke at a podcast. He's like, all the equipment, all the furniture at the event, it's mine.
Crazy.
So he rents his own equipment and his own furniture to himself.
And the money goes back to him.
And the money goes back to him.
For sure.
So if you think of yourself as a performer in that way, now I'm looking at the studio, for example. He's got the studio. So if a client books him and he charges the studio rehearsals space, he's charging it back to him.
Yeah.
It's his own sound, his own equipment. You book Tom not only as a performer, as a dance choreographer, but you book him as the performer. To be like, oh, we want an artist to perform with the dance crew. It's him. You're going straight back to him. So you only, like, he's paying himself. He's getting paid. It's like we get to dabble on other departments, and don't be shy about it. Like, that's how you're gonna gain your sustainability. Ukuthi uma unganayo dance namhlanje, kusasa ngingasebenza as a director.
And can I ask, now, there's something also, Tom, you mentioned about having the conversation where you tell the client, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm expecting. This for a freelance dancer here, when is the right time to have, and for you also, Sne, to pose, when is the right time to have the conversation with a client? Do you have the conversation before you jump on stage, or do you show them first to say, no, this is what I do, and then after that you then say, no, Mamela, now I've done it. Now, can we start talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the next one? When does it happen?
Hi, ungaya stage, ungakhulumanga. Wena umlaleli uTom uthe kumele ukhulume ama contracts before. So no.
Okay.
You as a performer, this is something that we also don't discuss as a dancer. Let me tell you guys, we charge for everything. We ahlala phansi uyibuka ukuthi okay, as in from Gai, transport here is going to cost me this much. Write it down. Meng figure that ukudla kuzongicosta this much. Write it down. Ish. After rehearsals, ngoba ngilimele, whatever the case might be, I need to go see a physio. It costs this much. Put all of those things down, like bale zonke, bale pants. Then you have a conversation with your client to be like, hey, I'm asking for X amount. And when they ask you to justify why you're charging X amount, then you can be able to say, listen, my transport costs this much, my lunch costs this much, and whatnot. And by the way, there's something called SNTs, my per diem. I don't know if you guys know per diems.
Yeah, maybe explain.
Okay.
A per
Per
diem.
diem, SNT. S and T.
What's the term of the two again?
No. SNT.
Yeah.
Or per diems. So PERDIEM. That is your, by government law, we are supposed to be receiving these funds from clients as part of your package. And the rate for it is now 180 for your lunch. So that you include in your rate to say, okay, I'm going to charge 2,000 for dancing. Then I'm going to charge 150 for rehearsals. Then I'm going to add low money 180 or a lunch. Nazo client yami, here's my rate.
And they have such a huge problem with paying for AMA rehearsals. It's crazy. Like,
It's craziest news.
you know what I mean?
Really?
But
Hey.
it's all guy. But I just want to offer him quickly. No? You made me think of something more local, Masne. Yabana, the lack of unity within dancers and choreographers is so bad. Ne? I'll make an example. We've gotten to a point where piano, actually just music in South Africa, mostly piano, it moves only because of dance challenges, right?
Yes.
Why
true.
why are dancers not charging to create a dance challenge? We're at a point now where Usman Manuzo Kipikulo, he knows very well ukuthi akadingi nokuthi anfonele ukuthi ni create dance challenge. Nina nyovuka nje niyenze ngokwenu. Just because you are on a trend, ufuna ukuboniwa, you understand? Now, once that becomes a normal thing, masekafika kuThoma athi wena ngicela ungenzele i dance challenge for this song. Bese mina ngithi hayi mina ngicharge 50K. Uzothi what? How mfethu? Usibani uyenzile mahala mos. Wena, why are you not doing it? So now even artists are now used to that now. Sebayazi ukuthi I'll drop a banger, give it 2-3 days. If lelo culo liya trend kuzobe kune dance challenge.
It's been normalized.
Yeah. Cela nehlisa izinga lama dance challenge are for free.
Yeah, ibona inkinga. So how are these people gonna take us seriously when
they
won't. Now we don't take ourselves seriously?
That's true.
Young Todd, how many, like, it's crazy, bro. Like, how many dance challenges do you see in a week? Different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think all those people got paid? No one got paid there.
And I also want you to realize, Uguti, once you have reached a certain number of followers on TikTok, please understand what Sisik Bonil. I would ask what I was doing we prove every week ulusuku busy wena nalama dance challenge amahala. And by the way, tinamanya dancer sayibona ama dance move ukuthi le you took the same dance move, you're just adding it to this song. So it's not as if you also created a dance challenge and we're doing the same thing.
That problem.
So number one. And I'm not mad at you like coming up with your creativity and whatnot, but just because you did that doesn't mean you're a choreographer. I love you so much. Love you so much. Please, understand it, guys. I'm not coming from a very harsh place. I'm just trying to make you understand what a choreographer is and a dance creative is. You have every right to be creative and create all of these dance challenges and whatnot, but be careful how you call yourself a dance choreographer, because again, like Tom said, when you have to sit in a boardroom meeting and discuss choreography conversations, then uzobindeka.
And do you feel like the choreographers get overlooked because of that?
Yeah. Not all the time. I mean, for us, there's certain choreographers that have already made the name for themselves, and there are certain choreographers that are still making a name for themselves. So clients are not fools. They know the difference. It's just, when are you going to take this opportunity thinking that, okay, bang busy choreographer, my client, don't forget, your client is just trying to rub your genie bottle just to get you to perform
drop
for
that
free.
rate.
Yes. You phenomenal choreographer, you amazing choreographer, you. Ajike lapho mase thola ibudget yangempela. Afonela uTom. Athi Tom sting activation qa. Wena uvike wenza dance challenge la. What is so a stage?
That actually, yes, it's actually a very, very huge, like it's something that a lot of dancers need to learn.
Yeah.
There's dancing on TikTok and there's being a performer. There are two different things.
Please explain.
I'll make an example. But whenever we hold classes or when we teach choreo, right, the one thing we've picked up is that a lot of people who are popular on TikTok, they can't catch choreo.
They struggle.
Yeah, they can't catch choreo. Like, la phela asikhulumi masek danswa kahle, like catching counts,
Goma,
pictures,
Gijima.
you understand?
Pause.
Placement, etc. It's not just putting your phone ebondeni bese uyajiva. No,
And
no,
dancer
no.
kwispace esingaka.
Way two different things. So people also still need to learn. We need to do more workshops. So we teach more so that ingaphelela ku TikTok, because a lot of people feel like as long as ngijiva ku TikTok I'm a choreographer.
Yeah.
As long as ngijiva ku TikTok I'm a professional dancer. No, there's a lot. As Sne ashuti, even with a choreographer, it's not just putting moves together. You need to bear in mind which you need to direct movements, direct artists on stage, understand the lighting, costumes, so that it makes sense to the picture that you want to paint. It's not just jumping on stage and saying, quick,
Senza manos.
10K, fast, and then...
And you know, there's Sne, you spoke about education, and also Tom, you're saying the same thing in terms of learning is so important. I think there's this misconception that now going to school for this thing is not, it's a waste of time now, right? It comes across that way, right? And that's not even just in dance. It comes across like that in music. It comes across like that in visual art, right? Where it says the institutions are maybe not, because you can go to the school of YouTube or you can go to the school of TikTok now. Can you guys just explain why you feel like still going to school is very, very essential?
The reason why we didn't go to school is because we didn't have the facilities. We still needed to prove ourselves to the industry. So if there were facilities, if there were platforms like these, AMP Studios and all these other creative hubs, I believe we all would have went to school with that opportunity, but we didn't have the opportunity, so we needed to learn the game directly from the street because we were all teaching each other. The guys that had the opportunities of working Koma Theatre, they were able to leave the country, get exposed, and then when they come back, bazositshela thina emalokishini ukuthi yo guys besenza lokhu kwenze lokhu nenze lokhu. Then the word started spreading across. Those who had access to dance studios, they would come back and we'll share the knowledge here. So we come from the school of Estrada. No one sat us down and said, here's the book, so. So don't throw away your opportunity and your privilege of sitting in spaces like these. Thina besingana mina ngikhumbula mina usomizi nolosha khupha nobani bani behleli phansi kanje bethi guys nenze so. Not because bebengafoni, it's because we never had the platforms or the connections. Dance wasn't valued that high. They had to pave the way for us, and we had to come in and pave the way for the next generation. And now we have these platforms. So I would highly recommend that dancers, with every opportunity of education, guys, I swear to God, it doesn't take away from your talent. It actually makes you a greater dancer, an intelligent dancer, because then now you know where to apply izinto ezithizeni. Uyakwazi ukwenza invoice. Nkulunkulu wamshwele indaba ama-invoice. Uyakwazi ukwenza ama-invoice. Uyakwazi uthi mawudila ne-client and they say, hey, we're going to pay you in 14 days. And you understand what that means. Awubala ama-weekend. 14 days is business days phela. So when uzofika kumina usuyangithethisa ngo-day 14 ukuthi ya wena ngifuna imali yami. I said 14 business days. Do you know what that means? When I was ukuthi 14 business days, it's the working days, as in 5, edina lo munyu 4 days. Then you can expect your money.
Don't count the public holiday also.
Don't count the public holiday. Like, like that's the education that we don't have. It's those little things. And then client must say, oh, the township dancers or the lokshin dancers, they don't get it. These street dancers, they're not educated by Tom. And it's like, no, we just don't have the education. No one's telling us. Clients can come back to us and say, I can only pay you after the job, but 14 days after the job. You need to know what that means. Ungali with the client yako. If they say you are missing something, documents invoice, you need to know what that is. You need a tax certificate. Yo, man, just so stress. Educate yourself. Come to these places so that you know what the language is. So you know the jargon. So you know my terminology. Proof of what residency. You need to make a plan. We totally proof of residency. So there's a lot of education that is outside of the physical dancing that people need to learn. And it's going to make you a professional dancer. And I promise you, a professional dancer, but I am where I am today because I chose ngizos educator ngihlale nabo banibani ngifuna ukwazi lesi ngisakho ntwana indawo nami ngifuna ukukhuluma strong ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi lo Hong Kong kwakho uthini. So open yourselves up more to the education of dance because you already have the talent and it's in you. It will never leave you.
Can we talk about what exactly social media has done to the dance culture? Do you feel like, can we look at the positives? Or can you look at the positives and then also look at things that we can learn from?
We are trying to Tom.
Hey, this thing is tough. Hey, guys, like, me, I don't want to lie to you. This thing, like, being a dancer, choreographer in South Africa is really tough. I'm not even going to lie to you. It takes a lot, for you to get to where we are, for instance. Social media, for me, I think there's good and there's bad. Yeah, bo?
For sure.
Firstly, I'd say, as Sne was saying earlier on, we trended before there was social media. This trend, actually, Tom London, you understand? Already, right? Now, can you imagine if we didn't have social media at all, up till March? Life would be tougher for us, very. Because that means when The only person that knows that you can dance is probably your neighbors. So if only your neighbors know you, or you figure nini to start having a conversation with Absa, it's not gonna happen, right? But now with social media, it's easy for people to find you. So that's the good part about social media. You know, put together a couple of videos. Once you trend, you start getting bookings, for instance. But I feel like the other side of it is that it has made a lot of dancers lazy. That's my issue with that. You understand? Now you just want to take but in a video, say kamereni, iphelele lapho kuwe. You awufuni ukuba educated, you don't want to learn, you don't want to go to classes. It takes a lot, guys, to do this thing on the highest level. You know, so I feel like good and bad. For instance, piano is huge. It comes from South Africa, right? But now, overseas, dancers are booking each other from wherever they are. Whether Pumi Angola, Nigeria, ayufundisi piano overseas, njani? You understand? How? How are you teaching the fundamentals that started here overseas when you don't understand anything? But because people want to eat, and people are struggling, and people are trying to survive, they will do it. So dance on its own doesn't have a blueprint of how to uipata in the game. It's a huge problem. Hence why I'm saying I don't know how it's gonna izolunga kanjani. I don't know, honestly, you know. But I think the best thing to do as a Sne show, educate yourself so that you are able to use those media platforms to gain or get paid or be seen. And you guys are lucky in the social media. So you have no reason for the world not to know you, Njani. How do people not know you? I get a lot of people who text me and say, Tom, please help me become famous. Like it's crazy. Like, I mean, I just want to be famous. I don't want anything else. Do you know how bad it is to be popular? Maria account yaku 0-0. Am I lying? Guys, it's bad. Like, that's what people are looking forward to. Ngifuna ukuba famous, ngena ku social media, post everything, nama number, but you are unable to transform the fame that you have into your bank account.
Yes.
There's no way you can actually, or they're not thinking of ways to convert those views and those likes into actual.
Do you understand
numbers.
that? And also with what Sne was saying when she said, it shouldn't be a bad thing if you want to dance, you want to be a choreographer, and then now you want to move to being a DJ. As you can see, the popular DJs in our country now.
Dancers.
Exactly. And well, not dancers.
Yeah.
Because Tina, this thing is fair too.
Uzotrend, Tom.
Hey guys, I'm not
Utrending our DJ.
Anyway. No, but it's true. It's true. You understand? Because I get the problem here to Tina's lele.
Yes.
I'm not even gonna lie. We are sleeping, dog. Like, it's very, very bad. Now DJs have seen it. Okay, if ngakona nje ukufunda ama TikTok, bese ngiya DJ. Ngizoba one of the biggest DJs in the country, right?
Don't name drop.
Why can't angeke? Ngisafuna ukhola, angeke basangibiza. Anyway, so
Uzotrend, Tom.
yeah, well, my question now becomes this: why are dancers not doing that?
Yeah.
Why? If you can learn how to DJ, you know how to dance already. Why are you not doing that? So, Chutina's lazy. We are comfortable in our struggles. Like, we don't want to grow beyond what we have. And one thing that's very important is that, for instance, in the COVID, that's when I learned how to diversify. I was like, when we were sitting at home, no income, nothing, I was like, I don't want to go through this again. Where you are sitting for 6 months and nothing is coming in. Yeah. What are you eating? You know, some dancers have kids, some have families, so it's very important to diversify your income. I remember one of the reasons I opened the dance studio. One thing, girlfriend, it was, I'm not even gonna lie. You see, I'm telling you the truth.
It's not
It was
impressive,
tough.
Tom.
It was very tough, yabo. But in that situation, as but in Dlala sometimes I woke up and I was like, and the one thing with girlfriends, akanandaba ukuthi what are you going through? If she says ufuna ukudla, ufuna ukudla.
100%.
Uyangithola? So mangivuka, I'm like, what? How am I gonna feed this hand?
Yeah.
Now that plus winter kula amagig bewathula khona ke lapho. Bekuyi-winter that time. And I was like, Jar, I need to think of something else besides being a backup dancer.
Yeah.
You know? And she was like, I was like, hey, you know, I'm thinking, a lot of people are asking Guti, how can we learn how to dance from you, Tom? And I was like, why not open a dance studio? Young Tom. So you're not only focusing on being called by an artist to dance behind them, you can do that, you can choreograph, you have a dance studio that also brings you income. You know, music, my reason to go into music was that I wanted to dance to my own music so that I can make royalties out of my own music.
Yes, yes.
Dope.
You see what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's so dope.
Yeah, I understand. So
Yeah.
you don't always have to. Hence, I mean, among Pega, I don't know if you guys have noticed, I hardly dance to other people's songs, especially TikTok. You can
Yeah.
go through my page, you'll never see me doing 10, fast, or whatever. Because unfortunately, when you do the DC for that song, right, you didn't get paid for it. That song trends. Lama royalties ngeke uwathole wena. From your dancing video.
And can I ask, now, Tom, do you, because I know you wanted to add on, Sne. Tom, when you started the dance school, did you have any business knowledge, or was it just like, I'm figuring this out as
Nothing.
I go?
I'll even tell you how that conversation went. I woke up, I went to Southgate Mall. I got there, they called the manager of the mall itself, and I said, I would love to pitch something to you guys. But what? I want to open a dance studio inside the mall. And then they were like, okay, you do know that there's something we call rent. Kabanga already, I left my house in Lambile, ne? Ungakhohlwa. So rent, a dance studio, for instance, you are spending 25K a month to pay for that, just to keep the lights on. Bear in mind, I don't have a sponsor for the dance studio. Absa, if you're hearing me, you know what I mean?
For sure, for
You
sure.
understand? So I'm doing everything out of my own pocket, basically. So I was like, luckily, because I've been in the games for long and I've made contacts so much that I can pick up the phone and call Casper and say, Casper, if I had to open a dance studio, would you be able to come and actually come rehearse at my studio whenever you need dancers? You know what I mean? So me being associated with a lot of celebrities, that's where I caught them. As much as they were telling me about the fee that I need to pay monthly, I was like, I will bring in as many celebrities to this mall as possible. But for me to do that, give me 6 months of not paying rent.
Yeah, me.
You understand? And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when they said, oh, okay, cool. So who are you going to bring? I'm like, I'll bring all of them. Robot Boys in there. Mbaz Bonk.
Yes, yes.
Mbaz Bonk.
And I
you
guess
know?
that also goes back to the relationships you built when you were doing these things for free.
Free.
My man.
You understand?
Value.
That's how I got to open my first dance studio in Southgate, because I gave them
Value.
what they need so that they can drive a lot of foot traffic into the mall. Immediately when you hear that Casper is coming to dance at my studio, obviously you wanna come and watch him. You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm giving that's my value to the mall. Now I have a dance studio and I'm not paying rent for 6 months.
Brilliant. Jeez. Jeez.
I was gonna add on the
Yes.
social media thing, Uguti. It's a good and a bad thing, but I want you guys to not focus too much on the bad, because then we end up feeding the bad.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the good of social media. It gives you the exposure, it gives you the numbers, right? Also, it's your digital CV treated as such. Please understand that. TikTok can be fun, and TikTok will put you under pressure. Uguti, you need to get the views, you need to get the numbers, you need to get the... But you're not gaining anything from those views and numbers. You can have 1 million views or numbers. I'm not on TikTok much. Do you get paid for that one video, that thingies?
No.
No? So why am I investing on numbers when I'm actually not getting any value from this thing besides Uguti, I've been seen by 1 million something people? How often do you see those people getting jobs and getting booked? Hardly, right? So you need to be able to place yourself as a brand on social media platforms. So what it is for me, I look at Instagram. My Instagram is my digital CV. As much as it's my life, you'll find a lot of my life there, and I post fun things, but a lot of the times you'll see who Sne Mbatha is. She's a dancer, she's a stunt performer, she's an actress, she's a choreographer, or she's working on this gig, but I've packaged it like that, and I'm not overselling myself. Yo, I felt like dancing today, so here, night dance challenge. Oh, I need to catch up with this other dance challenge now. Here, like when you go through, for example, your profile, you won't find, hey, Tom got the pools this weekend. You won't find that because he cares about the brand, the view, the way that people. If people had to be like, who is Tom Blunden or who's Sne Mbatha? Oh no, let's find them on Instagram. Can I tell you, your professionals, your corporate clients, they are finding us on Instagram and TikTok, and they book you based on those things. Now, if you're gonna post, and I'm not trying to disrespect people's backgrounds and upbringing and whatnot, but if you're gonna post a video, in the back, camera yako, you didn't wipe it, your client is going to be like this. They're going to do this. They don't know how brilliant of a dancer you are when you're busy posting on my dance challenges and you say, and you've taken that video and you're thinking, I'm just showing the people that I was at this venue as well. The client is looking at that video and going, oh, lo uthanda groove. Lo yenza lento for fun. Akekho serious. But if you take your phone, this is literally, your phone is, this is your CV. It's your weapon, it's your power. You take this thing, place it nicely, be clean, shy choreo yako, dance proper. Dance proper, and then you post those things. That's your digital profile. Oh, this person knows how to dance like this. That's how I also book my dancers. If I can't find dancers, go online and I'll ask my partner, I'll be like, yo, Chum, which dancers can we book? Because I like using and working with new faces all the time. Which dancer can we book? Hey, I saw this other dancer. Yeah, well, I saw this other dancer. Where, Chum? Oh, go Instagram. Oh, let's go through their profile. Oh, okay, cool. They can do this, they can do that, because now I'm learning about the dancer before I even get to meet them. That's like an audition process. It's like online auditions.
Yeah.
So if when they talk about you, or go to yo, this dancer, they're so amazing. But when we go to their profile, we don't find anything. It's just TikTok challenges. I promise you, I'm not booking you. Because I'm stressed. Yes, people are speaking well of you, but I don't see it. No one can convince me otherwise. Yeah. So use your social media in a positive way. Don't fall under the pressure of views and numbers. And don't forget, it's God that decides your success in your industry. Your consistency, your dedication is you feeding and hinting to God, I'm serious about this thing. There's no amount of views that can get you that job unless God says so.
100%.
My name is Neo.
Hi,
but
Neo.
I'm known as Havoc. So I wanted to ask, when can a dancer start labeling themselves as a professional dancer? Because with me, I've been dancing for 2 years and 4 months, but then I've managed to work with brands like Netflix, Basadi Music Awards, etc. But then I recently went through a situation whereby I was told that we are not yet a professional for you to start like wanting to get paid for doing gigs, even though I've worked with certain companies and brands.
Apologies for laughing in the middle of your question. I was listening at the same time. Tom.
Guys. As I said earlier, before I actually do that,
so Netflix.
Yo. Ah, yeah,
Wow,
Opozo. 2
that's
years
crazy.
in, you're really on
Ow,
Netflix.
guys,
Shout
mhlapheleni
out,
izandla,
yeah.
ow.
Well done.
It goes beyond TikTok to be a professional dancer. Can you catch choreo? Do you know the difference between dancing behind your phone and performing on stage? Are you attending classes? Is your skill growing? You know what I mean? Hence why Sne said earlier on that when she goes through your page, she's able to tell whether you are a professional dancer or not. We can see the difference. Very early foot. 10 seconds into the video, I can tell you, I was going to be choreo. You understand things? So it's reinvesting into yourself until you get to a point where already you are in the same room as Martin, one of the most booked choreographers already. You understand? That's a step into the right direction. But most importantly, learn, reinvest in yourself, and when the time is proper, when you're a professional dancer, uzobona now. Now uzobona. As I show Sne ukuthi, a lot of artists don't book people who can't really perform. Umuntu ongakhona ukuperform uyambona kusase-early. You understand? But the more you go to classes, the more you enrich your skill, uzofika down. I don't wanna, angifuna ukuyivala nje and say, yeah, only when you can catch choreo, that means you're a professional dancer. No, you need to learn how to perform. You need to kuningi.
I think what Tom is trying to say is that when it pertains to the investment of being a dancer, a doctor before becoming a doctor, they have to serve certain amount of years working in community facilities and all that stuff, right? And that's them paying their dues, and then after that, even if they still have to serve that amount of time. Then once it's in their system, then it becomes a profession, as in it's your first and end all. Like, more work saying this is what you do, this is how much, this is what you earn from it, you make a living out of it. Then it's a profession, just on the basis. A professional is a person that lives off this thing. You make an income off this thing every month. Balance. If you're not in season, you are training to be back in season. So that makes you a professional dancer because you reinvest so much in yourself.
I want to go back to that statement that Mr. Tom London said about like create a dance challenge for these artists and we don't get paid. So how do we go about like talking to, let's say, Mr. Tom London, who drop a track, and then you're a dancer, and then how do you go about talking to him to create a dance challenge for him that's gonna get you paid?
So you're asking, how do you go about doing that?
Yeah, how do I go about talking to the initial person who dropped the song, so I do a dance challenge for him and get paid from it?
Yabana, this also goes back to, have you put in the work in order for the artist to call you? You must never make that mistake of calling them and saying, I want to choreograph for you. You'll probably not get paid. You need to work hard enough, brand yourself properly so that they come to you. Unless if it's your own song, it's a different chat. But basically it goes back to that. Are you big enough? Are you branded well enough? Do people know you enough? Focalistic won't wake up now and call a random person to come choreograph for them. Focalistic uzovuka abize uSne because uSne is a brand. And if uSne uyayenza leyo dance piece, it's gonna move. It also goes back to that also. So it's not only about your skill, but it's about your influence in the dance world also.
Okay, one more question. Manje, mase ucreatile le profile leyo. Bakubona, bakubiza. And then maknike leyo mali leyo bowuthi this money le ay ngeke sithathe, we shouldn't take it as umuntu ojivayo noma choreographer for a video. Senza njani, must figure good eye point. With a good profile, with a nice profile and everything, but now it gets to a point where they like, we can't give you this much money. We want to give you less. Do I take it or do I?
The question is, what are you, besides the money, if mali ngani, what is the value you're going to get from that artist?
Oh, the value. Oh, ngiyabonga. That answers my question. Sanibona nonke. Igama
Phili.
lami ngumduduzi wakamthethwa aka Master Enrico Pantsula from Orlando East OE bafethu. My question will be eyokuqala ne ngicela ukubuza ukuthi mhlambe ayikho or i-platform or inesinga protector kuyo mhlambe izinto esizenzayo njengama dancers like mina ngiyi-dancer and then ngasho ukuthi ngiyi-teacher futhi yabo so khona idayile engizicabangayo like yona le Dragon Fire ngakhona mhlambe ikhona i-platform engakhona ukuziprotector kuyo because khona abantu abakopi idayela mara maqeda mase bazenze ngenye indlela well where else wena uzicreate leso style leso but maqeda labo bantu bazenza ngendlela wrong engasisiyizo and then ngicela ukubuza ukuthi mhlambe ikhona i-platform yokuthi mhlambe ungaprotect idayela like on Sambro mhlambe umuntu oyi-artist yabo bayakutshela ukuthi mangabe mhlambe ufuna ukwenza i-movie i-story sakho usiprotector uye eSambro or in but is it possible ukuthi kube khona indawo la protector khona idayela? Second one will be ukuthi let's say njengoba ngi-artist kanje ngiyi-dancer ngidensela mhlambe umuntu mhlambe wena umuntu oculayo and then mina I'm a background dancer ngiyadansa and then we agree upon imali mhlambe agree nge-12,000 and then where else mangifika kuwe ungitshela ukuthi abakubhadalanga laphayana and then mina sozonginikeza 5,000 is there any platform futhi mhlambe esikwazi ukuclaima kuyo or something because at some point thina sinokurobheka endaweni ezinjalo? Yeah, thank you very much.
Great questions, by the way, and they're very important questions. Please stick around. One, the Kopili Dailan, it's a very difficult one because it's movement and it's also something that will consistently move from one place to the next. That's like telling a ballerina that they can't stand on their toes because the first person that stood on their toes were in Zaganje. And it's rather see it as rather you inspiring someone else. Don't see it as a negative thing. See it as a good, oh snap, I am a movement maker. I am a shift shaper. Like, see it in a positive light. See it in control of it dance move and this is like me because then we end up not spreading the love. Dragon Fire. And what if you see a 7-year-old Ntoana that says, "Nam ngifuna Dragon Fire," and this is probably like a Nigerian or like a Kenyan child that is inspired by what you do. So you're telling me that he can't do that thing because you want to trademark it and make it your own? You know what I mean? So look at it in a positive light. So if I see someone else do it, it was inspired by me. They don't have to credit you. God will credit you by giving you the opportunity and the platform to recognize you. Stop working with artists on a verbal agreement. Let's stop that thing. Street dancers, we have that problem. Young in the same zayo, a phone. Jong dinga madansa of 5 kanje. Malini, 12,000, I collect, pezik, technique. Okay, show fit so yes, a man. Figure up and muntati. Ishazin, I pumanga le malena signama excuse. Yabo. The issue is you can't take the person to court. Nungayaga sa CMA, but where's the evidence to say this was the agreement? Dwa. Bomchela, nonke you should have emails. Ama email. Imahala leyanto. Vula nama email. Nibe nama email accounts. Musanba lazy. That's what's going to protect you. You want to be protected. Go down na email address. Email bafethu. Sinama phone. Ukwazi uvula TikTok awuna email njweni. Uvula njani TikTok? Thatha leyo email usendele umuntu uthi fethu ngiyabonga ukuthi uswitch out. Cela ungibhalele lento le yonke lento oyishilo uyisende kule email. Just write it down. 5 dancers, 12,000 for this how many hours? No, which day specifically? Phela. Akusendele in writing. Even if we are tumela over WhatsApp and then when you copy it ucela email yakhe. Wena uthathe leyo message, put it on your email, write them the email ukuthi, hey, by the way, we are looking forward to working with you based on these agreed terms. Thank you, We send it back to Bono. That is how you have paper trail. And you can easily say, okay, la, ngikhulumile naye lo muntu sa agreeya wathi yes. You have to get them in writing. They have to respond and say, yes, I agree. Kube evidence, because mawuya ka-CCMA bazothi hawukodwa akaphendulanga. Ukusho ukuthi ukhuluma wedwa. So make sure that you protect yourself by being the professional yourself.
I wanted to ask, like, what processes or measures do you guys take in order to protect the kids and yourselves legally? Because I see on that music video, there's like kids, for instance, like you taking a child to a set. Do you ask parents? Is there indemnity forms? For instance, if I want to shoot a music video with kids, what do I have to do? So I just want to know that.
Eish. Yeah, that chat is so sensitive also. And I know what the school you are talking about.
Yo, when you are trend, when you are trend, we are trendisana, siyakusaba wena. Tom, pendula kahle.
Eish.
Yakwesaba wena nomlomo wakho. Careful, Tom.
Okay, I'll speak on behalf of Soweto's Finest. Ne? We don't do anything, and I mean literally anything that involves kids without their parents knowing. Even when we pay kids through their parents' accounts. So that the parent, we don't have these conversations with kids at all. Because obviously, they can't protect themselves, they can't represent themselves. So we always make sure that parents know everything that is happening when we are involved with their kids. And unfortunately, not all companies that use kids are going to be like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Some people are not going to protect them. Some people are not going to pay them. It's tough. But for myself, personally, I think that's where literally this whole thing of working with kids started. It started here at the Soweto's Finest Dance Studio, And then after some time, and that's how you obviously, expose them in regards to them not taking care of kids. You can't make umntwana sign a contract. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
How njani? You know what I mean? If you are speaking directly to their parents, perfect. But also one thing I've realized is that guys, right? And I sometimes feel like certain parents take their kids to certain places just so that when you don't know what your child is going through. Umtwana, let them live, let them grow properly and enjoy life as abantwana. Breadwinner.
Yeah.
Sne, Tom, thank you guys for an incredible session. Super insightful. We really appreciate your time. I know you've gone a little bit above the time we thought we would. Thank you guys. Lastly, a big thank you to Absa for helping us put this together. And then finally, a big thank you to you guys for taking the time to show up, and not just show up, but participate. And not just participate, but stay throughout the entire process. We put these together. We put these together for this purpose so that you guys can get educated. They're freed up their time. Tom came rushing from another gig. Do you know what I mean? We hit our Sne last minute, and she still made a plan to be here because it's important for them to share the information. You ask them what they're doing. To contribute, they're doing this. You know what I mean? So we are super grateful for the time that you have taken. We really do appreciate it. Big thank you. A big thank you to Absa. And on behalf of the app team, thank you for taking the time to come through. We believe in you. We will always have the space open and make sure that you get closer to your dreams. My name is Slim. Thank you very much, and we are done.
Thank you to Slim. Thank you to Slim.
Danke.